Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, New Powerpuff Girls, and Star Wars: The Force of Evil. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And Michelle Anderer.
Hey.
Today, Michelle, Sam, and I will be discussing Mr. Greg, the highly anticipated all-musical episode of Steven Universe, almost all-musical, here airing on July 19th. It is the Summer of Steven's Summer Adventures. Every weeknight, catch a new episode of Steven Universe at 7, and then probably up by around 8 will be our podcast. Check out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Yeah, very excited to talk about this episode. Some more spoilers coming out. There, we will not be discussing spoilers from future episodes. You're safe here. You're safe here. Let's get into Mr. Greg. Really big episode of the show. The crew kept typing it up, and here we are. 7 songs, kind of 6 in a reprise, double reprise. Sam, general reactions to Mr. Greg.
I loved it. Would this be my new favorite episode of the show? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. For me, like, I was really interested in seeing the dynamic between Pearl and Greg, and just having them just do what they need to do has just been, like, so interesting to me, because they were both in love with the same person, and the dynamic between them throughout the show has been interesting. And just having it come to a head here. Yeah, so hopefully it wasn't just like a band-aid that we put on, but hopefully there might be a little bit more struggle, since that's what I like. But, you know, they're not making the show solely for me, so whatever. I liked it a lot. It was good. The end.
Sam hoping for more angst.
Yeah,
surprise,
obviously.
surprise. Yeah. By the way, I brought out my 2 Pearl experts for this podcast. So
Oh, you did.
Good.
yeah. So we'll be getting into the Pearl emotions behind this. Michelle, what are your thoughts on Mr. Greg?
I love this episode. Everything I was hoping to happen happened, and it happened in such like a nice, like, thoughtful way too. Like, I especially really love Pearl's song, and I love her talk with Greg towards the end. It basically, like, we as fans, we kind of known what was going on, but it was really nice to have it like spelled out anyway for like the last few people that disagree that Pearl like was not completely into Rose. Like, there's no denying it after this episode. And
That's your big takeaway. That's your come on. Let's get more. Go deeper. Go deeper. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like being validating, like being more and more validating, like, isn't a bad thing.
Okay, yeah,
it's
I guess maybe they haven't explicitly used in love. I don't know. Maybe, you know, it's but we had
not in so many words.
We had Rose's.
They've shown us.
So, you know,
yeah,
we're good. But yeah, it's, what do you guys think of all the songs and how it worked as a format, Sam?
Well, it was. I feel like this should have been like longer, like a half,
instead
of just like 22 minutes instead of 11 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it was good. Definitely a good use of your Pearl, because Pearl's VA Dee, I think that's her name, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dee Mega Hall. She is like she's sung for musicals, and like that's her strength. So using her for the musical episode, I would have to question if this episode was like built around like they just decided, hey, let's do a musical episode. I don't know, maybe
it feels constructed, right? Like it's like why is it these 3 going to the city having the musical episode?
Yeah.
Like, okay, obviously they're taking Pearl,
like,
because like
all the singing.
Yeah, like it's like you can figure how they constructed it. We want to have this Pearl Greg episode. We want to have this musical episode. It's going to make sense to do it with Pearl because they're a voice actress, and it's like, so you take it from there. Stuff like
definitely that. Pearl's like solo song. I don't know what you call it. Would it be It's Over or
whatever? We'll get into guessing
something
the names
like
of the
that.
songs.
Yeah.
But that one was like the most like explicit. Like, this is a musical number that belongs. In the theater.
Yeah, Pearl, Pearl's solo, It's Over, Isn't It? Or Isn't It Over? we'll vote on what the name is and then be instantly invalidated by a Rebecca Sugar post. But that's like straight from a musical. Like it's and then you have reprises of songs at the end. So those
so the whole tone felt very musical, and like I think they did a good job, like sort of blending in the dialogue with the songs and just the emotions. My only caveat is that I wish it was longer.
Yeah,
me too.
Michelle, thoughts on the format?
I think it structurally, it did a really good job. I agree with Sam, but I think it might have benefited a little from being slightly longer. But I think, with their very like strict 11-minute format, they did a really good job balancing it. It didn't ever felt like too rushed. I just wish it had like, I guess, like a little more time to like breathe between like the dramatic moment and then like the, reconciliation at the end. But I mean, and again, this is like kind of just generally like like Sam was saying, like the Pearl Greg thing has been like an issue since like episode 1. And it's kind of, I don't think it's like completely resolved either, but it's great to see that they came so far in like one episode, and it didn't feel like unearned either. It made sense. And it seemed to be more of a case of them just like never really bothering to have a talk before for whatever reason, and finally like being a situation where it allowed for it to happen, and Steven pushing them both to open up, and it worked, and they can kind of talk better now, and that's like enough for me at this point. I'm glad they finally had the talk, because I think everyone been kind of waiting for something like that to happen for a while.
The talk. Yeah. In a
They're
way.
not expecting them to be like best buddies or anything, but like sort of
not yet.
Getting over like I wouldn't even call what they had between them just like animosity, just like the awkwardness. And sort of like the slight bitterness towards Pearl, and just like the slight bitterness coming from Pearl rather, and just sort of needing to put that in the air instead of like keeping it stuffed away.
Yeah, like holding it in.
In a weird like background red-blue moment between Pearl and Greg. It was pretty interesting. By the way, I apologize for downplaying the validating aspect of this episode. I screwed up on that reaction. I reacted that way because
you screwed up, Dylan?
I reacted that way because it's been confirmed, obviously, for a while. But yes, validation is legitimate, and I'm sorry. Anyway,
validation for who? I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
We forgot already. It's been a few minutes. Anyway,
I did.
This episode's really good. It's potentially really great. My big question is like, is there not enough like depth? And I agree that we don't get into too much detail in this short time frame. But I mean, just multiple of these songs are just really great. This is one of the strongest plot elements of the show. Pearl's number is really, really great. My only hang up with it is that it's like all stuff we know already, right? So we've been hitting a lot of the same notes with Pearl. So I could have used a little more detail, but at the same time, there's not more detail, right? Like that's just how this is. Like these are the aspects of it. And
I think also it might be the show being like, okay, we've like addressed all of this. Now whatever we do next with Pearl is going to be like not this anymore.
Yeah.
Like she's going to like actively try to like move on or like have a relationship with Greg or like something, but it's not going to be this like anymore.
Yeah, no.
We've addressed it as explicitly as possible.
You could see this as like a finale to the Pearl emotional Rose arc.
I
do love that she's like actively addressing like, why can't I move on? We haven't gotten that before, so that is new. That's definitely new. And yeah, I mean the episode's gorgeous. It's really well done. Gonna have to watch it a few times to really determine how good it is. But we're in the upper 9s range of the Dylan scale for sure. So
the Dylan scale,
Dylan scale, of course.
Okay, let's go
Dylan
through
scale of how good something is.
Yes, let's go through all the songs here, and we'll talk about the songs. Then we'll talk about like the development. I mean, the songs dictate the story. So first, I think we heard we had 7 songs, but maybe it was 6. The 7th is kind of a reprise, and number 1 is already kind of a reprise from Comet from Story for Steven.
I didn't even count that as a song.
Yeah, I didn't count that. But
that's song number 1, the burger jingle. It counts because we have to get to 7 somehow.
Was worth the $5.95.
Yeah.
Did you know that is actually how much a burger costs on Bob's Burgers?
Wow.
$5.95.
Oh, I did not.
I remember I haven't watched Bob's Burgers in a while, but I just remember that's how much your burgers cost.
Thoughts on this burger jingle, Sam?
That it's okay. I like the original song better, but I always like dumb covers for commercials, like the ones that like Kraft does for their mac and cheese or something. So it was okay. It's the end. It was worth the $5.95.
Oh, it was okay. Michelle, you're digging the burger jingle.
I guess I'm a little surprised how well it converted from like a rock
Yeah.
song to a burger jingle because it actually works really well. It was all right. I mean, it was like amusing to see that.
Yeah.
Not my fave, obviously, from all the songs
Obviously.
in this episode.
Yeah, I mean the best
Would
part
you
is
like a burger?
yeah,
Just Marty just taking a bite.
yeah.
I know,
Why is
right? Why
Marty
did they
in the
choose
commercial?
him in a commercial?
Like,
He's
yeah.
not that like.
How
handsome.
long
He's
has this
kinda
commercial just been
old.
out there without Greg knowing? Because like
Yeah.
Marty still has his hair.
Yeah, no, it's probably
So-
been for a while.
Probably pretty
yeah, but-
old.
And he was
but-
just like, "Oh, I gotta give him this $10 million."
Yeah, sitting
Yeah,
on it
but-
for like 10 years. Fine.
And like, how is Steven not seen? Well, maybe it's like a more local chain, but $10 million is a lot for it to just be like a local chain from
No,
like somewhere
I think
else.
they're just not plugged in. Like, I think Beach City is not plugged into the rest of the world. I think that's the conclusion here.
Okay.
Like, they're never on the internet or anything. Although, next episode. Anyway. Very...
Yeah, but Greg's gonna buy Steven courses online.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that next. But for the best part, I think, of the burger part wasn't during the song, but it's the Rose commenting on the... or Greg being like, but you'd have liked this, huh? Like the dancing burger guy.
Yeah.
And Pearl's like, she would have
Like,
loved
she
it.
would have loved it.
Yeah.
So sad.
That's a very good moment there. And then Pearl's like burgers at the beginning too.
Oh yeah, like this is what did it.
Yeah,
Burgers.
yeah.
Yes,
Next
the only
is-
way to a rock's
Yeah.
heart.
Jim's heart, yeah.
to a rock star. Yeah.
Burgers.
Next is "Don't Cost Nothin'" with Greg and Steven. Probably the strongest pure song of the episode. I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah,
that's-
I know you liked it a lot because you were singing it the other day.
Oh, interesting. You picked. But yeah, great, really great song with Greg and Steven. Potentially Greg's best song. I mean, Drive In, Into Your Heart, et cetera, et cetera. But I was really digging this one. I mean, it's the one they choose to reprise, so that's a good indication.
I guess that's significant, yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts,
It was
Michelle?
okay.
Yes, it's okay, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it better than okay, Michelle, or was it okay?
That's like a very pointed way of asking me that, Dylan. I thought it was a solid song. Again, not my fave, but it was a nice song, and I think Greg did a
Wow,
good job.
all this suspense to what's Michelle's fave, and we all know
Oh,
it's the
man.
Pearl song. So
Michelle
yeah.
essentially says it was okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was okay.
No,
It wasn't bad. It was probably a 75%.
It was no
More than average.
Don't bring in this new percentage scale. We can't handle this many scales, okay?
Yeah, we can't handle
Yeah.
grades and percentages at the same time.
Yeah.
And like we can't handle different
Yeah,
number
that's
scales.
the third scale. I think this is my favorite song in the show since Stevens was teaching Peridot song. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the life and birth
yeah.
and peace and
Yeah.
warmth.
Yeah. That's
Another one that you've sung many times.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very catchy.
these are similar.
Very-
These are similar songs. Like they're very like low key kind of
Dylan, Dylan has a type.
Playing
Yeah.
a ukulele.
have a song type. We'll definitely be getting the Rebecca Sugar demo for this one, et cetera, et cetera. Like, yeah, we're anticipating the Tumblr post to come out today. I believe we'll get an onslaught of them. I don't see any. Yet,
Oh
though.
yeah.
So we'll see. Oh yeah, and they're having that sing along at the Comic-Con panel, so I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of those there.
Oh
too.
God, that sounds like the worst.
Yeah.
Just a
I'm
room
not-
full of people just singing along.
Yeah, kind of does.
Ew.
Of course. Anyway, the highlight of the original "Don't Cost Nothing" to me is "I'll put you through college, but I'm with the gems all the time," says Steven. All the finest courses online. Like, I like how we're acknowledging how weird it is that Steven doesn't go to school. Like, okay, that's good.
You're gonna keep it that way.
Yeah, apparently we're gonna keep it that way. Yeah. He's
I'm
like-
sure that Steven has documentation as a person.
Yeah, Sam and I were talking about this. Does Steve? Yeah, I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like, does
We
Steve have a
probably
birth
have.
certificate? Yeah. Anyway,
Probably not.
I don't know.
It has to go through like some sort of like weird channels to get one. Probably.
Yeah, he probably doesn't, but that's okay. Empire City, the third song. Greg and Steven, and Let's Bring Pearl.
That was so random. That's like the randomest way to bring Pearl into this episode. Oh, she's standing over there? Well, let's bring her too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shoehorn her in.
Yeah.
The highlights of this one being past experiences have taught me that three is a crowd, says Pearl. And Greg saying, Pearl and I haven't gotten along great since I started dating your mother. And then Steven's like, well
that was kind of weird, yeah. The don't forget mom line.
Yeah. Steven's like, we'll all go together, and then we'll don't forget mom, and he points to his gem on it.
No, Steven. And
then Greg and Pearl like, eh.
Yeah. Steven, you are your mom. I don't think you have this down. Thoughts on this Empire City song? I thought it was probably one of the least strong of the episode.
Yeah,
I don't remember it too much.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rock thing, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Can't remember.
We get the intro to Mr. Greg with him having a business card, bazillionaire. I don't know when he got the business cards made up, but that's okay.
just on the way.
Yeah, I guess so.
He just stopped. No, he just stopped by Staples.
Yeah.
No, fun fact: if you go to Staples, if you order online business cards, and you do it before like 2 p.m., they'll have them in the store that night ish. So.
Oh, so if Steven did it like on his phone beforehand, they could have just swung by and grabbed him.
I don't think they're this technologically advanced or have Staples, but that's okay. I mean, it may be on the way to.
They probably have something.
They had to cut through Jersey to get to Empire City.
Jersey has many Staples. So.
Yeah. More confirmation that this is Delaware, because they have to cut through Jersey to get to.
Ooh, Delaware.
Ooh, anyway.
Or Pennsylvania. Well, they're not in Pennsylvania, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Delmarva.
Mr. Greg, the fourth song. Featuring Greg, Pearl, and like the concierge.
Bunch of staff.
A bunch of staff. A few other staff talk too. This is the one we had the earliest clip of. Highlights being Pearl in the tuxedo, perfect fit. And then the dance with me, no at the end. Thoughts on the Mr. Greg song is really good, right?
Actually, I think this is my least favorite of all the songs.
Wow.
Really?
You don't even remember Empire City, though, so how can you judge this?
I wasn't digging this kind of song. I've never really liked this kind of song, so it just wasn't working super well for me.
Sam?
I thought it was just really cute. Like,
yeah.
I
there were cute moments.
I want to be called Mr. Greg by some, like, weird guy, like, door person.
Yeah.
Just in that tone, except my name's not Greg.
Okay, Mr. Greg.
There you go, Sam.
Yeah, I thought the song was good.
Like, it's Mr. Greg. Like, it's just so cute.
It's very bouncy and chipper. I don't know. I'm sure everyone's supposed to like it.
Hipster Michelle over here, sure.
No, that's not called for.
But yeah, I can understand why Michelle wouldn't like it, because it's one of those like I understand, like in like a typical. In a typical musical setup, it's like one of those.
It's like this is I don't know what decade, like 20s, 30s, 50s. I don't know what this is.
Like Cole Porter-esque almost.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, and they're all talking in that accent too. You know, it's definitely going for that feel with this. Boo, you ruined the song at the end.
I did like that.
It's always been this way. Pearl goes outside, sees roses, and smiles. Okay. Yeah. So now we have the Pearl solo.
Oh my God, Dylan, did you like write down all the lyrics?
I know, right? This is like way bigger.
Yeah, I kind of I transcribed the prominent moments, and in this Pearl song, everything was prominent, right? So it's over, isn't it, or isn't it over? I'm putting my my money on "Isn't It Over" being the name of the song, but I'm always wrong. So. We'll see.
It will probably be called like some like completely random word.
Yeah, well, no, they no. Rebecca names these songs like
probably like Rose parentheses. It's over.
We'll see.
Rose,
Okay, let's go through the notable Pearl lyrics. Was fine with the men who would come into her life now and again. It didn't. Yeah. So
does that mean she's only been dating men? Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I found this phrasing interesting on two reasons. One, we didn't know that she had other like Earth flings.
We did. We did. Yeah, and we need to talk. He asked her. He's like, "Have you ever loved him before?"
Oh yeah, You're right. Well, okay. We knew that it was like there's like a person, right? But. This is like different. I feel like this is a different concept for me. And you saying men, yeah. Like what's up with this?
What's with
I
this
don't want to read
fresh
too much into
heteronormativity?
it, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be Pearl's Pearl's perception of things and like her
True.
recollection,
Maybe she only paid attention to the men.
and like phrasing it through like Greg and like seeing everyone like from her memory, like as that type of thing. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Didn't really matter until you talking about Greg. Fought over who she'd choose. Never thought I'd lose. Says Pearl, and we repeat this again, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting that literally yesterday we have a Star vs. the Force of Evil episode with an extremely similar concept to this, and we use win-lose language. Also talking about the like girl that got away. It was not as interesting because it was two guys, but
okay.
yeah.
Well, I don't need to watch it then.
Yeah, but yeah, this is like almost the exact same thing going on. Did you think about that when this was happening, Michelle?
Not really. I was just super engrossed in.
You were too
Pearl
engrossed
and
in
have room to think about other shows.
I noticed this. It's over, isn't it? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. Of course, we have to note that phrasing it in terms of won and lost is not a healthy mindset.
Yeah, not great.
It's not good.
When does Pearl do healthy things?
Pearl is not a healthy person. No,
she loves Steven a healthy amount. That's something.
The love for Steven is healthy, yes, but
I agree. The win-lose language can be a bit jarring at times.
It's very first of all demeaning to the person who you're talking about, and second of all, it's unhealthy in terms of like you like. And it's like not a good concept of love and like etc.
Yeah, it's not really how love works.
Yeah, one would hope. Yeah, but why can't I move on? This was my favorite part of it. It's like because we've known that Pearl has been hung up on Rose and like that's been her arc for forever. But I don't think she's ever like acknowledged it. Like this is a big thing for me. It's like why can't I move on? Who am I now in this world without her? She says. Like
no.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah. Now I've got to be there for her son. Yeah, we've just throwing that
Which
in
is
there. Yeah. And she's gone. Why can't I move on? Yeah. Michelle, what haven't we talked about with this Isn't It Over Pearl song?
I mean, that's basically all the lyrics you wrote out.
Okay,
I mean, and to be fair, the stream I was watching was so crowded with people, it kept like freezing every like 20 seconds, so I was refreshing through like half of the episode. So I didn't catch every word, but I got the gist of it.
We'll have to rewatch a million times, of course.
I will.
There's all the words for you, but yeah, Sam, what emotions did this evoke for you?
Well, you're not talking about the animation during it, which I was very impressed by.
The clouds, or just like her dancing?
Like her dancing and like the camera angles, like the rotating camera around her, stuff like that. But as far as emotions, it's just sort of like, it's like an emotion that I think maybe not every person can relate to, but it's like,
a lot of people can.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to, and just sort of like, trying to, move on, for lack of a better term, and just sort of being stuck and wondering why you can't, and wondering why you still hold like bitterness towards the situation when it's past. I don't know. It just sort of like with many of Pearl's songs, just sort of like invoked a feeling of, I guess, familiarity for me, and like relating, and like that might be probably why Pearl is my favorite, because I can relate to her probably more than any other character.
Yeah.
So yeah, relating to my personal life. That's what that did.
Yes.
Also, Pearl in a tux.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Comments, Michelle?
Well, I definitely agree with Sam. I think one of the really compelling things about Pearl is how hard it is for her to get past this thing. And like, Pearl's like aware of the situation. Like the song makes it clear. Like she knows, like she's not in denial about everything. She just still can't move on. And I think as we've talked, in the past about like Pearl-centered episodes, like part of it's like, she tied so much of herself to being with Rose and what that meant for her. But in terms of like relatability, I think it's a super relatable thing. I mean, like who hasn't like, felt a way about somebody and not had it reciprocated to the extent that like you felt it. That's like such a relatable feeling, and I think what Pearl goes through like resonates with so many people because of that. And you don't, need to be say like queer to understand that. It's still like super powerful and super legitimate, and that's really, really interesting. I think Pearl's character does a really good job of like kind of exemplifying what that's like, and I think that's why it'll also be super gratifying to see how she moves forward with that, because that's something everyone kind of has to do in that situation also. So yeah, I really liked the song, and I'm really excited for whatever they're going to do with Pearl next.
Yes, definitely, and more to talk about with Pearl in this. We could probably have a whole podcast on this one number, and maybe that's future roundtable. But let's keep going on now. You were awake. Nothing will fix this. Sorry, you had to be around me, says Greg.
Oh man, yeah, that was so awkward when she realized they were both awake. It's like, oh jeez.
Yeah, and Steven's like, this is exactly why I brought you.
Come on, Steven.
Freaking Steven.
You don't have to do that.
So optimistic.
Yeah. Then we have Steven's number on the piano. We got name choices for this one. I think the Legion contender is I Love Both of You.
Ew, that's a terrible title. I don't like that.
Okay, got a lot in common. Why don't you talk to each other? Which one is it? Which of the three?
I like Why Don't You Talk to Each Other, but I don't think that's the actual title.
I think it's I Love Both of You.
I'm just gonna wait until command comes down from mountain high.
Yeah, that's not a thing, but yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a phrasing of something that is a thing that I made up.
Yeah, the red and blue, Pearl and Greg, Godline.
No.
Orange,
they were.
Yellow, wasn't he?
Yeah, one of them was yellow, and the other one was blue, and then Steven was pink.
Oh yeah.
I'm going with. I mean, maybe the red was an orangey red, but this was red and blue.
It was yellow. It was yellow.
It was yellow.
I reject that claim. Rejected.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back and see, and then we're gonna see who's right.
Pearl was not. Which one was red? Which one was?
I think Greg was yellow.
Pearl was blue.
Okay. Maybe they changed colors then, because I am seeing a clip of Greg as yellow.
I don't think he changed colors. I think that was the color.
Well, they changed colors to get this part at the very least, but yeah.
I guess
you're just making things up.
We'll see. I was reminded of Ruby and Sapphire, which I thought was interesting.
No, ew.
Very
no. No.
I mean, I saw red and blue. I was like, what red and blue thing exists? But
I was kind of afraid when they started dancing that people were going to be like, oh, does this mean Pearl and Greg are going to get together? I just don't even. I don't have time for any of that nonsense.
I don't have time for that straight nonsense. That's
I don't have time for it either.
Yeah, Sam definitely does not.
I don't have the energy to think about having time for it.
Yeah. Guideline common really do both. You both love me, and I love both of you, says Steven. Talk, and then they have this talking part. Stayed anyway. I like Greg's like, I knew that you were in love with her, but I stayed anyway. It wasn't the problem. It was that she fell in love with you, says Pearl. Rose. She always did what she wanted. And then they like. Much like the episode of Star yesterday,
I was thinking
the two people reconcile by their love of the person who they both love, and how carefree and how independent she was. And this is what we get with Rose here, and very much like I loved that scene yesterday in Star. This is also a great way to resolve this kind of conflict, is through their shared like love of how this person like is as a person type thing. And then dance background, and then they're like dancing, and in the background there's a weird background, So what do you think of the effect, like the visual presentation of this, Michelle?
It was nice. I mean, I don't remember as many snazzy camera angles as there were during Pearl's number, but they definitely had some nice ones. I remember there's like a close-up of their feet at one point, and I'll have to rewatch it. It's not really clear in my mind right now, but it was nice. It was a nice moment. Friendly. Nothing more.
Sam, thoughts on this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Sorry, I was busy gathering proof.
Yeah, I see Sam was reblogging GIFs of Pearl on Tumblr.
No.
Oh my God, yes, that should be priority, Sam.
I see this right now. So,
Greg was yellow and Pearl was blue. It's over.
It's over,
it is kind
apparently.
of over.
I saw one GIF of it, but I don't think that's proof enough. I'll have to.
Oh my
check.
god!
Maybe I'll have to
Why-
recalibrate my television. Maybe that's the
Why
problem
do you
here.
gotta be that way?
Why don't you talk to each other? Yeah, exactly. The very visually distinct presentation of this. I like the talking use of that within this. The phrasing of Steven on the piano was good. They jumped into this really fast. Like this was one of the moments when the pacing felt a little very quick in the episode, but it was presented really well. It was visually distinct, and like I said, I really love the resolution of it. This is the way that two people like reconcile, like their shared love for someone, like just they're the thing that they both love, like, and having that in common. And I thought it was great.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
What?
Steven is too short to reach the pedals on that piano.
Oh my god.
That's
You're
what I
probably
was
right.
thinking.
Oh man.
Okay,
well,
we
maybe
needed-
he
No, he
maybe
was.
he shapeshifted when the camera wasn't like on him.
Exactly. He
He
could.
just
He
grew
could.
extra long legs.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know how piano works, but I think you don't need the pedals for some of
You
it.
you need the pedals
You
to
do
like
you do for tone, I think, right?
yeah, just like going like up or down
Okay.
an octave.
Well, we'll have an investigative report on Steven reaching the pedals coming up.
We
But
can ask
Well, his
Justin to
feet-
do it.
There's no investigation. His feet were just too.
no, Sam's case
That's like,
closed.
there
Says
is
Sam.
no
Yeah.
case.
Yeah,
Like,
case
not
closed. It's
possible.
unrealistic. Sam has decided. Okay. Then we have Le Bill and the reprise
Le
at the
Bill.
end of Don't Cost Nothing. Pearls, like those cost something. And,
Tailored suits.
and
Sure, it costs something.
Dancing with You don't cost nothing.
We could have just done that at home.
Yeah.
Why didn't we
Pearl-
do that?
Pearl singing, and getting it wrong don't cost nothing. It's catchy, and we also get the reprise of "It's Over, Isn't It?" And
I really
yeah.
liked that. I thought that was a nice moment when Steven's like watching them get along. And it's like,
Yeah.
the horrible awkwardness for like 2.5 seasons is finally over. They're
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
Yeah, and it's great. And then you what?
I appreciated that because we've been waiting for so long. At least I had. That was like one of the. I mean, along with like all the plot, like heavy stuff, like
Yeah,
I just
gems
wanna
that will not
bask.
be named yet. That was a big question for me. How are they
Yeah.
gonna get over this
yeah.
I just want to bask in the awkwardness.
forever?
I just want to live in it.
Sam,
I already
overall
live in it.
is yeah, you do. But overall,
thank
is
you.
this yes, you're welcome. Is this everything you expected from the next saga in the Pearl Rose storyline?
I guess, yeah. I mean, you can't like be stagnant forever.
Yeah.
Naturally, the way that life happens, no matter whether it be human, animal, or gem, you gotta move on from things and continue living. So, I don't know. I guess like it was like pretty much what I expected to happen. But yeah, that's it.
Yep. Michelle, same question.
That's pretty much. I mean, like it gave me everything I was hoping for out of that episode. But just because it gave it to me, like it still like felt great to have it, and I wasn't expecting more. I think it's a really nice way to close out that section of Pearl's arc. And now hopefully we can start doing other things with her. And if like they touch on it a bit, like I'm sure they will. You can't completely close that door forever. But I am excited to see what else they do with her.
Yeah, I mean, they
and
were
Greg.
like, sorry for interrupting you, but they were like,
Oh,
I don't want to say together, but they were like, yeah, they were like together for like however many thousands
Yeah.
of years. You can't really get over that. And like one day. So
We had a
Yeah.
song. We danced. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good now apparently.
Move on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was very good. It's like the most epic way to kind of present the next chapter in the saga. I love Pearl kind of finally introspecting and like addressing that she can't move on. I love the resolution to Pearl and Greg with their love of Rose. And I think they leave it in a really good place. The thing I guess I want to see expanded more on still is this like dichotomy of Pearl's Pearl's like feelings for Rose and love of Steven. I feel like we still have more to do with that. They talk on it here a little bit about like they talk about it like twice, and now I have like love your son, and Steven's like, well, and we'll take mom. I feel like there's more to do with this and explore Pearl's emotional state more with that. But at the same time, for Pearl's sanity, I do hope we don't get into that more.
So more like in line of in like what they were talking about in say like Rose's Scabbard or.
Yeah, I think this addresses basically like half of Rose's Scabbard, but I still think we have another half of it to conclude, basically. And I think that's well, I think to a certain extent, this wasn't Rose's Scabbard at all. It was more of the flashback episodes with Greg. But
I meant like what you were talking about, like just sort of exploring that.
Yeah, with the Steven thing. Yeah, which was what made that episode so great. And I think there's more to do there, but this episode was great. I mean, I need to watch it a few more times. No, this isn't better than Rose's Scabbard. Rejected, but that's okay. It's like we'll see how good it was. General impressions, Michelle / overall evaluation.
I'm so happy. Oh, one thing we didn't mention was this is apparently Joe Johnson's last board before he becomes director.
Joe Johnson's a director on the show now. The last storyboarding episode. Who will pair?
I'll miss him.
Who will pair
His
with Jeff Liu?
So
That's
good.
like the big. I'm very interested in the storyboarding team dynamics.
I'm pairing with Jeff Liu.
Oh, it's Sam. Okay. Cool.
With Sam all along.
It's Sam. I secretly got a job and I didn't tell anybody. So yeah, it's me.
Sam, overall thoughts on the episode?
I hope that Pearl keeps her tuxedo.
Yes. I'd love to see their turn to that.
And that she just wears it all the time. That's it.
You must admit,
or at least the hat.
You
Yeah.
want her to watch it. You want her to wear it all the time. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice. It's a perfect fit.
It's a perfect fit.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts. I'm sure we'll get into this episode again in future discussions and break down stuff more. Pearl's number, there's a lot more to talk about, but those are our general impressions. Immediate impressions of Mr. Greg. Let us know what you agree with and disagree with. Comments, YouTube comments, Dumper asks.
Mr. Greg.
Hopefully we'll get the names of the songs soon and our suspense will be over. And,
I'm going through Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Overlyanimated.com. You can support us by checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our current patrons, Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Davon, and Jade, aka Fever Rich, Good Understood, Beatrice, Nate, Nathan Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Richard Rose, Dinah Bravo, Brian Cook, Cat Needle, to be determined, Jewel? I feel like Delaney had something.
That's a lot of people.
Jewel, question mark.
Jewel, question mark. Okay.
We're going to have to fix it.
No, too many patrons is not a problem. That is a good thing. That is
We need to maybe fit them out.
That is.
Here's an idea. Why don't you like pre-record it?
So I could just stick it in. Yeah, we could do that.
Yes.
That'd be too easy. But yeah.
Because I always get like really upset because you say everybody's name too fast.
I could do it slowly.
That's true. You do say it kind of
That's
fast.
true. Okay, well think about that. That's the first time
and like I feel like
over
they
a
can't
year that we
it.
brought this concept up. So we'll
better late than never. Yeah.
Excuse me, like we didn't have like 50,000 patrons.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Too Short to Ride. Who I got for that one? I got the main crew, Delaney and Sam. Yeah, that's what
the main crew,
the original, the OG crew, and
okay.
We'll get and it's a Peridot episode and Peridot tweets. Oh my god, I have Peridot tweets. Okay, spoilers.
So excited.
But what Peridot tweets? What
spoilers? Okay, yeah, we'll get into that next time.
Spoilers! You brought it up.
I know, I'm hyped for it, and that's the big spoiler. I gave it away. There's no other spoilers that came out today. Just Peridot tweeting. Don't worry about it, guys. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.